So connect to our EC2 instance where we'll learn some Linux basics. And I have shown you the browser-based connection, right? Just a second, please. Just a second. Some of you having struggling to join it. Seems. The one I have shared is the right link. Once you register, you will see this link.
Ma'am, I have joined. Madam.
Right. So let me connect to this instance. One way of connection we have seen, right? Select the instance, click here, and you will see EC2 instance connect, which is a browser-based connect. This is how you will connect, right? You will see the EC2 instance and you can work on it. This is one way to connect. The another way is like select the instance, because this you can do only when you have this GUI access. Okay. The other way is just go here and click on again, sorry, click on connect again. And you will see another one called SH client. What is SH client? What is SH concept? We are going to learn in the next class. For now, just copy this command, okay, and run that from the location where you have the PEM file downloaded. Whenever you create an instance, you get the PEM file downloaded. Do you remember that? Yes. So go to your terminal on Mac. This is where I have my PEM file. Run the command from that location. Okay, you have to run the command from the location of your PEM file. This is the location of the PEM file. So I'm running it from here. I don't think I have the PEM file here. One second. Downloads. The PEM file name is test1.pem file. Okay. See here, this is the PIM file name, which I downloaded when I create an instance. So you should run it from the location of PIM file. I have that in the downloads folder. Okay, so it is saying unprotected file. So it's the permissions are not proper, chmod 400 file name. What is this command? What are all these? Like why you should change the permissions also we'll be learning today in the Linux class. So for now, just run this command. Now, after providing these permissions, yes, you can connect to the instance. Do you see that I got connected to the instance, the prompt change? This is through your SH client. This is through your terminal if it is Mac, or else you can use Git bash. You have used Git bash till now, right? To practice Git on Windows. You can use the same Git bash window to do this connection. This is the second way to connect. Are we good and clear? Anyone lost or any questions? Please be attentive so that I know who understood, or if you don't understand, I would know if you can respond.
Yeah, it's
Yes, ma'am,
clear.
got it.
But just one doubt. So in cloud-based systems, we don't have any username and password. Using that, we can connect to any of these.
Root user will be having no password. Also, EC2 user is the default user on the instances we are using, and also, yes, it doesn't have any password. Later on, if you want, you can set the password.
Okay. So
So,
by default, everything will have to be accessed via PEM file only.
yeah.
Keep it. Okay.
Yeah. So these are the two ways to connect. On Windows, you have different SH clients. These are called SH clients. This terminal on Mac, okay. If it is Windows, you can use, these are all called different SSH clients. SSH client. Okay, on Mac, it's called terminal. And on Windows, like it's called, you have Git bash, okay, or you have, you can use putty. These are all different SSH clients. On Windows, you can download putty, or else you have a mobex term. Different SSH clients means an interface, different interface to connect to the remote machine. You can use putty or mobex term also. Okay, the connectivity to putty is done via this PEM file only, but PEM file should be in a different format. This PPK putty and mobex term uses the PEM file, which is in the format of .ppk. So what you can do whenever you create an instance, you can also download this format, right? Or else later on you can convert this PEM file into PPK file. You can convert this using puttygen. You have to download this puttygen and convert this one into this. All these steps of conversion were there in the installation, like the EC2 instance creation document. You can go through it and connect. Right? You can try this from your end, or else use Git bash or Mac terminal. So these are the different ways of connecting. Right? Once you connect, I've connected through my terminal. So let us understand some Linux basics here. Let's get started. So there were different commands you have, right? Let me go from the very basics. Lastly, when we are using Git, we have used this ls. ls will list the files and folders in the location. And pwd, present working directory. It will show you the path or else the location where you are in. Most of the Linux systems will not be having GUI. And also CLI is the preferred approach in real time. So this is how you know the present working directory, or else let's say you want to create some folder. mkdir, make directory. Okay, let's say I'm creating a directory called demo. Now, if you do ls, yes, it will be listed. If you want to go inside this directory, cd demo. Now, if you do pwd, right, it will show you the complete location of your folder. Right, this is how the path is shown here in Linux. And now let's suppose in this folder you want to create a file. Touch command will create a file, right? So now if you do ls in the demo, yes, you have a file. And if you want to edit this file, you have different editors in Linux, like Vim editor, VI editor, nano editors, and so on. Vim editor is available by default in our Linux 2 instances. You can use this, right? It will open the file in an editor. At the bottom, you are seeing this file name is, it's in a command mode. In the command mode, you can't write anything. Escape I. When you do escape I, it will show insert mode. Means you can type something like this. Again, you want to save. Escape will go take you into the command mode. Again, colon, WQ, exclamatory. WQ exclamatory will save the file and close it, right? That's how Vim editor is used. See, that's just an editor like your notepad and all. Only thing is little practice. You need to practice this. All the commands, everything is there in the drive. I'll show you at the end, okay? So just save this file. Now, if you want to see the contents of the file, cat command will show you the contents of the file. Like it is having the content as hi, the only one line you have, right? That's a simple way of doing the things. And suppose you want to copy this file. These are simple file operations. If you are on system, you create file, deletes file and all, right? So that's what we are doing. And if you want to copy file 1 to file 2.txt. Copy it, right? See, file is copied as file 2. If you want to open this file to cat, if you want to see the content, that's how you see. So that's a simple copy. And I want to come out of this folder, cd dot dot. So I'm one level back. It's like moving back, one level up. Now I want to just move the file. Move means what is the difference between move? Move a file in the demo.txt file 2 into the current location. So you have to give the file path and the file name. Dot means current location or else present working directory. So I'm just moving this to this place. Yeah, do you see that? And if you go to demo, there is nothing, file 2 is not there. It was moved outside this folder. Making sense, everyone? Following
Yes, sir.
simple file operations, navigating in the file system. And if you want to delete a file 2, RM, gone. If you want to delete a folder, RM minus R. It also deletes the contents of this folder recursively. See, everything is cleaned up. These are how you copy, move your files and folders. Simple file operations. And if you see here, we are as a EC2 user. EC2 user is a default regular user on the system. There is some other user called root user. Root user is called a super user, like admin user who will have all the permissions on the server. Okay, now I am a regular user. If you want to switch to root user, sudo su hyphen. See, I got switched into root, and if you do pwd, see that's the folder you are present in. Now, if you want to come out, exit, you're back to EC2 user, right? You can have different users created as such. And whenever you create a user, there'll be home directory. This is called the parent directory or the home directory of root. Every user will have a home directory. Like EC2 user will have a home directory called home EC2 user. Okay, let's suppose tomorrow you create a user called Tom. These users represent the human users, whoever can log into the server. Suppose if you create whenever you create a user, a home directory by the same name of the user will be created. And whatever he does, installations and all will be going into this directory. Right? Like home, Tom, and so on. So, like in Windows, you have C drive, you have different drives. This is root, the slash is called the parent directory in Linux. And whenever you create a user, a home directory like this will be created. And not only that, whenever you create a user, right, a group, a user group by that name will be created and he will be added into that group by default, Tom group. By the way, why do you need group? Suppose you have a team of people, right? All these people should need, let's say, a team of a DevOps team. Okay, all these people need same permissions. So rather than giving permissions to individual user, you can connect them, you can add them into a group and assign permissions to the groups so that the users present in the group will have same permissions. Got it? So, yeah, that's the importance of groups. We will see, okay, we'll create users, we'll add them to the groups and all. This is called user management in Linux. That's how you restrict the permissions, what the permissions each user can have on the groups. Also, let us do one thing. Now I have got the EC2 user, right? Now this EC2 user is not having any password. If you want to set the password command EC2 user. See, only root can specify username, means only root can set the passwords. Okay, but I'm an EC2 user. If you want to run with root user privileges, sudo password EC2 user. So you are running this with root user privileges. So now you can set the password. I did not set that. Let me set EC2 user. Confirm EC2 user. Okay, done. Password is set. And let's say I want to add some use, or else see, first before that, to see any users, there is a file where all this user information is present. So this is the file, etc password. Okay, here you can see EC2 user, default user, home EC2 user, bin bash, right? EC2 user group name is 1000. So you can see the EC2 user information here. Right? All the users, of course, all the users, see root user, and these are all the system default users. So user information can be seen here. Similarly, if you create the groups, means if you create a user, automatically group will be created and those group information can be seen this way. See, already EC2 user group is there, root user group is there, root group is there, right? So that's how you can see the information in those system defined files. Now let's suppose I want to create a user, right? Let's go ahead and create some users and see how you assign the permissions and all. First, let's understand user management, then we'll see the file permissions. Now, yeah, add user. That's a command to add user. But see, you should have permissions. So run with the root user privileges. Sudo add user Tom. How do you know user is created? Check here in the password. See, Tom is created with the user ID. Next user ID is assigned 1001. And also group will be created with the Tom name. See, group is also created. Okay. And if you want to see groups of Tom, like what are all the groups this Tom user is present in, groups of Tom. See, he was into Tom group, means by default, he will be added into his own group, which is called as primary group. Understood? And if you want to see the groups of EC2 user, I'm logged in as EC2 user only, so simply groups. See, he was into EC2 user group, admin group, wheel group, system D, general group. These are all the default groups. He was into, EC2 user was into. Are we good?
Yes.
Now
Yes.
we are like a Tom group. Suppose if you want to, if you want to change the groups of Tom is, he was into only Tom group. Suppose you want to change the group of Tom. First of all, first create a group. You can also create a group. Of course, groups will be created whenever you create users. Later on also you can create other groups with the command group add some group like DevOps. And if you want to see the groups, check this. Sorry, this is users only. So HC group. See, group is created, but no user because we created this group separately. Later on, if you want to add some user to this DevOps group, sudo user mod -g DevOps, right? Tom user. So now Tom user will be assigned to this DevOps as a primary group. Let's see. Now check the groups of Tom. Groups of Tom. See, he was into Tom group. Oh, sorry, DevOps group. A DevOps group become the primary group of this Tom. He was removed from other group and added to this group. He was no more into Tom group. Okay, now that we removed him from the Tom group. If you want, you can also delete the group. How do you delete the group? Group tell Tom. That removes Tom group. How do you know? HC group. See, no more Tom group here. 1001 is the Tom group ID. It is no more. Right now, Tom is into DevOps group. Okay. Right. So this is one way of adding him to a group and later on deleting the group. Suppose you want to add this Tom to another group now. I don't want to remove him from DevOps group. He should be in DevOps group only, but he can be added to other group as well. So what is the command? G password -d Tom to admin group. So earlier he was removed from the existing group and added to a new group, but now he will be appended, means this new group will be appended. See, removing use, oh, 1 minute. Okay, I did -d, okay. So this command will remove Tom from the admin group, but he was not a member of it. So anyway, it doesn't work. First, let me show you appending. Okay, once again, groups Tom. Okay, he was into DevOps group. Now I would like to add this Tom to another group without removing him from the DevOps group. What you can do, sudo user mod -ag append Tom to the admin group. Now if you check the groups of Tom, see he was not removed from DevOps group but added into admin group. Got the difference between these two commands? -g and -ag. This will just remove him from the existing group and add him into DevOps group. But this one will add him into another group called admin, but will not remove him from the existing groups. Understood the difference between those two commands? Line number 48 and 56.
Yeah, yes, Preeti.
How about others?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Right. So this will just delete him from the existing group and add him to the new group. But this command will not remove him from the existing group, rather will add him into a new group. Right? That's the difference. Now he was added into admin group and Tom group. Suppose I want to delete him from the admin group. This is the command. So removing user from group admin. Do you see that? Now run groups of Tom. See, again he was removed from Tom group. Sorry, admin group. That's how you can add him to the groups, delete him to the groups and so on.
Preeti, line number 48 is for command is for what action? Is it for deleting?
This is for deleting Tom from his existing group and add him into DevOps as the primary group.
Okay.
DevOps is the group name. This is the username. So this command will remove Tom from his own group, like his primary group is Tom. It will remove him from his own group and will add him into this group.
Okay.
So Preeti, what is the line 50? I mean, what is the difference between line 50 and the one you just did?
This will just delete the group. Group itself is gone. This will just delete Tom from his own group and add him to this group.
No, the last command you just did, G password.
Yes.
No, the last, yeah,
This one.
yeah.
So this will G password minus D will see here it is giving it, removing Tom from group admin. It will delete Tom from this group. That's all, but will not add Tom to any group. This will just delete Tom from some group. This will delete Tom from his group and add him to this group, other group. But this will just delete him from some group.
Got it. Thanks.
It will delete Tom from admin group. This will add Tom to a group called DevOps and removes him from existing group. And this command will add Tom to another group called admin, but will not delete him from any groups. Those are the 3 commands. All good?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Right. So that's how you manage the users and the groups. Like I told you, right? There might be 5 people in the group. So if you want to assign same permissions, that's how you add them. Or else later on, this person is moved to some other team. So you can remove him from the group. So managing users, right? That's what this user management comes in, groups and all. Suppose this groups and users makes more sense when you assign them permissions, isn't it? Okay, we are adding users, creating users, adding them to some groups, deleting some groups, creating new groups and all. This makes more sense when you also assign permissions to that, right? So now let's talk about file permissions. I'm EC2 user. Let me create some file in the TMP folder. You may create anywhere. Okay, I'm just creating a file here. In this path, some other default file is there. Now I'm creating a file called demo.txt. Also, I'm going to create a folder, demo folder. ls will list you all the files and folders present in here. Okay. Oh, sorry. I created this as a file. 1 minute. Demo folder. Okay. Let me create that as a folder. So I created one folder and a file. So fine. Whenever you create a file and folder, like you will have the permissions assigned to them. How do you see the permissions? Long list. ls minus l will show you all the files and permissions of those files. If you want to see files and permissions of any other files also, you can do like this. Suppose under etc, I want to see permissions of this. Okay, first let me show you permissions in the current folder. See, this is called the long list and these are the permissions. Okay. Okay. So that's the permissions of the file. And these are the permissions of the folder. How to understand them, right? First, let us understand these permissions. The first literal, okay, or first character indicates it's a file. Hyphen indicates that's a file. See, this indicates it's a file. Here D indicates it's a directory. That's the first literal. Second literal is you have to consider 3 characters. Okay. 3 characters R and W means read and write. Actually, these are the permissions you have. Read permission, write permission, execute permission. If there were no permissions means it is considered as no execute permissions, only read write. Hyphen means no execute, only read write. Okay, so but why there were 3 categories, 3 groups? It's because the first set indicates permissions of the owner of the file. Okay, second category or second set indicates permissions of the group owner. Owners group, let's say. Owners group. Third indicates others. Third set indicates and others. Same is the case with directory also, folder also. Others. Means owner has got, what is the permissions of the owner in this file? What are the owner's permissions of this file?
Read write.
Read, write, that's all. What is the permission of owner's group?
Read write.
Read, write. What is the permission of others?
Read only.
Read only.
only. Suppose, read only means they can't edit. Suppose let's take a Tom user. What are the permissions of Tom? Can you see by, can you tell by seeing this? What is the permissions Tom has on this file demo.txt?
Read write.
Is Tom owner of the file? How do you know the owner? This is the owner. Who created it? This is the owner. This is the owner's group. So owner's primary group is easy to use. So now tell me what is the permission of Tom user?
Read only.
Read only. Others. He falls into others category, right? He is not owner. He is not into easy to user group also. I'm asking permissions of Tom. If you have any questions, you can run the command groups Tom to know like what is the group he was into. Sorry. Now groups Tom. See, Tom is into DevOps group. So he was not into easy to user group or owners group. So he falls into others. So he has got only read permissions, correct? That's how you understand the file permission. Same is the case here also. Like I said, first one is owners permissions, owners group permissions, others. Okay, now let's suppose you want to give some permissions. Okay, first let's switch to Tom user and see how he can use. But before that, let me create some password to Tom user. Sudo password Tom. Before switching to Tom, create some user, create some password. I have created the password. Now switch to Tom. How do you switch to any other user? Sudo -Tom. It will prompt for password. Give the password which you set some time back. Go to this file. Go to this location. Now try to edit this file. Demo.txt. Do you see at the bottom? See, insert. Whenever you went into insert mode to write something, changing a read-only file, even though you write something, you can't save it. See, error. Please enter or type a command to continue. Can't open file for writing. Got it? Got the scenario? So Tom user cannot edit this file because Tom user has read permissions only, means he can see the content, but he cannot edit that. Right? Are we good?
Yes,
If
ma'am.
any
Yes, ma'am.
difficulty is there, if you are not following, you can
Yes,
tell
ma'am.
here itself. Later on, after 2 or 3 sessions, you can't say like I'm not following. Means if you say also like I may not be able to help you. So just listen carefully. If any difficulties, you can let me know. You did not understand this. If you want me to repeat something or you need clarity on something, you can ask me here itself. So that I can clarify on the same. So this is how you have. Now, shall we provide write permissions to the Tom? So how
Yes.
do you provide write permissions? Who can provide? Can Tom provide the permissions? Can Tom edit the permissions of the file?
No. Root has
No, no,
already.
root one.
The owner of the file or the root user can do it. Okay, so I'm going back to owner of the file. Who is the owner of the file?
C2 user.
EC2 user.
We can change the permissions, or else only root user can change the permissions. And how to change the permission? chmod. Chmod. And to which group you want to give? By the way, owner is represented as U. Group owner is represented
Others.
with G. Others are represented with O. So I want to give permissions to Tom group. Means others. I should change O plus W. O plus W means adding write permissions to others group of this file. That's what I did in the beginning for PEM file. Do you remember chmod 400? I'll come to that 400 also. This is one of the ways you give permissions. This is one way, giving permissions to others because Tom is here. Or else what you can do, you can add Tom to the owners group. That is another way. Correct? Understood the two things? One is add Tom to others, add write permissions to others, or else add Tom to EC2 user group so that he has already write permissions. Anyway, for now I am doing O plus W. Now if you see the permissions, see, do you see? Other group, third part has got read write. Do you notice that?
Yes, ma'am.
So now let us switch to Tom group. How do you switch? Tom user. SU-Tom. Tom is the name. Okay, now I have come here ls minus l. Go to temp folder. Now try to edit this demo.txt. See, now it's not showing read-only mode. If I type in and save it, it works. User can save. Clear? That makes more sense, right? That's where groups comes in, user groups, adding the user to different groups, deleting from the group, deleting the groups. All these make sense. Going back to EC2 user, TMP folder. Now, if you want to change any permissions of anything, this is how you do. Suppose you want to add execute permissions for the group, G plus X. Means group will get execute permissions. You give execute permissions if it's an executable like exe file or any shell script files and all. For now, just I'm giving it. See, color also changed. And you can see read, write, execute for group, the second category. Right? Similarly, if you want to add permissions to user also, user plus demo.txt. ls minus l. See, user also has got execute permissions. And if you want to remove any permissions, u minus x. Demo.txt. Minus for removing the permissions, plus for adding the permissions. U means owner, owners group, G, others is O. Are we clear? Suppose you want to delete permissions across all the categories. Simply minus X. I want to remove this from all the categories. You don't need to mention the category. X will be gone from every category. Similarly, if you want to add permissions to all categories, plus X or plus W, plus R, and so on. Now this is making more sense why you need groups, right? And how it is helpful in reality. Like certain files, only DevOps group should not be having permissions, or they might be only having permissions. Different use cases. Config files might be there where DevOps team, again in DevOps team, there might be some users, newbies or juniors may not be having all permissions on all the configuration files on the server. So that's how these permissions comes in.
Madam, this one demo.txt file already, whatever permissions we have added, that permissions only we have removed. But default permissions we can't remove, right?
You can remove any permissions. No default permissions here. Read, write are the permissions. You can remove those also. If you want to remove or read permissions for everyone, you can do it. No one can read it.
Just now you did -x like that, but this permission is not removed.
Where? See, X is not there anywhere. X is removed, right? Where is X on this file?
After read, write is there. Oh, okay. Only you remove the execution permission. -x
Yeah,
means.
yeah. Minus X means execute permissions I removed from everywhere.
Okay,
Around the
understand. Understand.
This is one way. Another way is chmod G equal to what you want for G. I want read, write, execute for G. This is another way of giving the permissions. Now G will have execute. See? Okay. So let's suppose G should not have execute. Read, write, hyphen. It will be. This is another. Similarly, O equal to or U equal to. You can put whatever permissions you want. Are we good? There are different ways of giving the
Yes.
permissions. One more method is numeric method. What is numeric method is more widely used. I have used chmod, right? That is also the numeric method only. That is more widely used. Can you see this chart? 1 minute, let me see. This is present in the Google Drive. Okay, you can see here. No permissions means 0. Execute means 1. Write means 2. Only write means 2. Write and execute means 2 plus 1, 3. Read means 4. Read plus execute means execute is 1. Read is 4. 4 plus 1, 5. Read, write. So different combinations, and using this numeric chart, we can assign the permissions. Right. So let me show you. Suppose you want to give all permissions to this file, ls minus l demo.txt. So suppose I want to give permissions, like all permissions. All means read, write, execute. Okay, let me put here. Read means 4. Only read means 4. Write means 2. Execute is 1. So suppose I want to give read, write. Means how much? I mean, read, write, execute means how much?
7.
7. I want to give the same for all the categories. First digits indicate for the first category, owner. Second digit indicates second category, group owner. Third indicates others. That's how you give the another way. This is what I use for PEM file. So now everyone will have read, write, execute. Do you see that? Suppose user, I want only read, write. What is the numeric mode for only read, write?
6.
6.
So user needs read, write. Group also need read, write. Others need only read. How much I should give?
4.
That's all. This is back to the previous question. Removed write for Tom also. Right? And earlier I have given 400. 400 means user owner will have read. No write for owner also. And everyone else will not have any permission. 0. Now owner can read, but owner also cannot write. Do you see that? 0 means all the permissions. Suppose read, write for owner only. What should I give? Read write for owner only.
6.
4 2.
Right? So, yes. Let's say I want to read write. Group can also read. What should I give for group?
6.
4 0.
4.
Yeah. Numeric mode is more widely used. You can get used to it. See, learning Linux basics is like how do you open the files, give permissions on Windows? The same way. This is much simple and much easier. Only thing is little practice. Also, don't try to master it in an overnight. Okay, it will take some time. It's a new environment, right? Every day spend 10 minutes on practicing these commands. You will get used to it. Only thing is practice. Suppose you practice, you understood Linux well. Suppose you don't use it for another 1 year, you will be again new to it. Like it should be hands-on, right? Because it's an environment, you should be hands-on so you get used to it. Only thing is practice. Like I'm asking different permissions and all, try out from your end. Like what if I want to give this permissions to the user and so on. That's how you can practice. And so what if you want to change the owner of the file? Who is the owner now?
Easy to use.
Easy to user.
Easy.
chown command will change the owner and also the group owner. Suppose I want to add Tom as a owner, group as a admin. See here earlier, easy to user is the owner, this is the group owner. But now I want to change them as Tom and admin. See here, owner is Tom, group owner is admin. Right? And that's a chown command. Suppose, yes, I want to change only the owner, not the group owner. chown, owner name, no colon and the file name, that's it. If you want to change both owner and the group owner, this is how. If you want to change only the owner, just put the owner name. Now again, it will be changed to this. What if you want to change only the group owner? Yeah. Change group permission. Change group. I want to change the group back as easy to user. Easy to user demo contains. See, back. Right? 3 commands. chown username colon group name will change the owner and the group owner. chown just the name will change the owner. Change group and the name will change only the group of the file. Understood?
Yes.
These
Yes, ma'am.
are, like I told you, right? New commands, many new commands. The 1, 2, 3, and the ch1. These are all different commands. Only thing is practice. They are not complex, but there are many commands. Okay. Only the thing you have to do is practice. Also practice every day 10 commands. That's how you can get used to it. Okay. And ls will list the files and folders in the current directory, right? Let's suppose you want to list files in some other location. etc folder. etc is the default folder. See, you can navigate there and do ls, or else from here, anywhere you can do ls by giving that path. Okay. These are simple things. Another thing is, suppose you check the history. History will give the list of the commands. Out of this list, I just want to get the commands which used sudo. How do you search that history? Right? Means the output of this history should be passed into the search. So if you want to give output of one as an input of others, there comes pipe. These are called different operators. And grep, global regular expression. So history command output will be given to the grep expression to search for sudo. So it will list you all the commands, whichever is there with sudo. And let's suppose now I want to store this output into a file. This arrow is called the redirection arrow. Let's suppose I want to store it as log.txt. Means the output of this is this one. This will be stored into log.txt might be created. Yes. Do you see that? All the pseudo commands. Suppose I want to search for chon. Okay, whatever, wherever I have used this. See. Now I want to store them also into this log.txt. Redirection arrow. Chon. Now check the file. See, only chon commands were there. There were no more sudo commands. Means what happened? This overwrites the previous content. But I don't want to overwrite. I want to append. So this time, let's again grab the sudo commands. And I want to add it to the file, but not overwrite. Double redirection arrows. Right? That will not overwrite, rather it will append. See? It has got appended. Do you see that? Is this clear for everyone?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Those
Oh,
are
yes.
some of the file operators and pipe operators. Like when you want to search any log file, these might be used. Like when you want to grab something from the output, that's how these can be used. These are the Linux basics. As we progress, it's not completed. As we progress, we'll be using some other Linux concepts. And yeah, we'll be getting into Linux topics where and when required. And
Yeah, one small doubt.
Hmm.
We created two groups, right?
Hmm.
ADM and DevOps. So
Hmm.
if we need to assign the file for both of the groups, one semicolon will change one command, owner colon group name. We need to give both group name at the same time, or we need to give another colon and add another group.
You have to give the file names. You are asking about two files, right?
No. If I need to give two groups, we created two groups,
Two
right?
groups
DevOps
at a
group and
time.
ADM.
Two groups at a time you can't add. You have to run this command again. Sorry, this.
Again.
Mm.
Okay. But
No.
that will override or it will append. That's what I'm asking. Even if I run again,
Mm.
change group
See,
easy to user.
this is primary group. Okay, this is the primary group you see here. There'll be
Okay.
only one primary group, right?
Yeah.
So you will see only the primary group. He might be, this EC2 user might be, this EC2 user might be in so many groups. But here you are seeing his primary group.
Okay. But if ECD user is part of the DevOps group, if say for an example as a secondary group or as a second group, and if he is creating a file, by default DevOps also will get the same permission as like EC2
No,
user
only
group,
the
right?
primary group. That's what I'm saying. This is primary group.
Okay.
Primary group permissions.
Okay. So
Secondary
if
group
this
is
file
not
also
to
need to be
others.
part of that another group, what we need to do?
Tell me, please. Tell me.
Now, if the demo.txt file is created by EC2 user,
Hmm.
and EC2 user is part of EC2 user group as well as DevOps group, let's
Hmm.
assume. And I need to assign the demo.txt file permission as like equivalent to EC2 user primary group
Hmm.
to DevOps. So
Hmm.
what we need to do?
Other, you have to change the permission of others because DevOps group fall into others, right?
Let's assume EC2 user is also part of the DevOps group.
But that's not his primary group. This is the first category. You have three categories of the file permissions. First one is owner. Second one is group owner. Third one is others.
1 minute, I lost.
Okay. This is owner's group. Means let's suppose you are talking about EC2 user. This is the owner. Owner's primary group is EC2 user group. So whoever in the EC2 user group will have the same permissions, whichever you are seeing as the second category. Okay, suppose this EC2 user is another group, DevOps group. How about permissions of people in the DevOps group? They come into others.
Okay. Though EC2 user is part of DevOps group, still the files created by the EC2 user will have the primary permission applied only to the primary group, not to the secondary groups.
Here group means primary group only. This is primary group. EC2
Okay.
user might be in so many groups. He might be in a EC2 user primary group. He might be in DevOps group. This is what you're asking, right? EC2 user.
Yeah, correct.
He might be into DevOps group. He
DevOps
might
group.
be in so many groups. But this second category is about the primary group. Okay, whoever in the primary group. Let's say Tom is also in primary group. Okay, let's say EC2 user group. This is Tom is there. Tim is there. So they'll have same permissions as the second category. They fall into this. Tom, Tim will have same permissions as the second category, second set of permissions. Suppose you have Kim. Kim is not under EC2 user group. Let's say Kim is under DevOps group. If you want to change permissions of him, you should change others because he falls into this category. Into DevOps group, so many people might be there. EC2 user might be also there. Clear?
Yes, yes. Okay. Got it. Yeah.
Any more questions from anyone? Okay. So this is about files and permissions. Let's talk about installation also. How do you install on Linux? We'll use something called package managers on Linux. Unlike you have different versions on Windows, you have different distributions on Linux. So depending on the distribution, you have a default package managers. Here I'm using Amazon Linux 2, which is like CentOS Red Hat based. If you want to see what distribution is your Linux system, you have a file called HCOS release. See, you will see it's like CentOS, Red Hat, Fedora. It's like CentOS, Red Hat, and Fedora system. So the default package manager for Red Hat or CentOS based systems is yum. Yum is the package manager. Means it will take care of installations and installation of the packages. Because in Linux, installing packages, they get installed in multiple locations. So this is how they install. Right? It will be installed in multiple locations. Also, if you want to uninstall, you have to uninstall them because all binaries would be in one location. All the executables install goes into some other location. So we use package managers to make the installation simple. Like M is the package manager for this system. And suppose I want to install Git. M install Git. That's all. That will install Git. First, let's see. Do you have Git here? No. If you want to install M install Git. Yeah. See, we are using as a root EC2 user. You need to be a root to perform this. Like EC2 user cannot have permissions to install. So switch to root user, sudo su hyphen. Now M install Git. That should install yum package. Okay, Git is installed. Sorry, that should install Git package. Now, if you run Git or Git version, you will see. Right, Git is installed. If you run Git, you will see lot of verbose. It's not saying command not found. Means Git is installed. Right? As simple as that. Now, you may create like we did on Linux, Windows or Mac. You can do anything. I created some folder. Now I'll do Git in it. It will create a .git hidden folder. You can create a files. You can run any commands. Commands concept remains same. See? Right? Only installation part is different. Like you use M package manager on Linux. Got it, everyone? So if you want to try out now here, get, yes, you can. You can push, pull, everything you can do, like we have done. Shall we install few more packages?
Ma'am, after installation, we will work in root user or in our use means other users also.
On
We'll,
this, for our lab, it could be anything, okay? Generally, you'll
Mm.
be working as your own user login. A
Okay.
regular user. Root user privileges will not be, everyone will not have root user login. Okay, in real time, you will not have permissions to log in as root user. Are we good?
Yes.
So there were other packages also, like web server. What is a web server? HTTPD or Nginx is called a web server, where you host some PHP files or any static files can be hosted here. Okay. We will see installation of this. Just as an example, this is general knowledge. Okay, you should have some idea on HTTPD. You can install this package and you can start this package. This runs by default on port 80. Okay, and if you see Tomcat, that's called application server, where you can host your Java pages, Java servlet pages, etc. And this runs default port is 88. We can see installing those packages for general awareness, and we can see how to start the service, how to deploy some sample Java applications on Linux. This is a small general knowledge kind of. We can do this. Shall I proceed installing one package today? Like we installed it, yum install HTTPD. In this process, you will learn many new commands. Confirm with yes. Now, if you see HTTPD, it will show you like, yes, it means it's installed. But is it running? You can check the status of the service using systemctl status service name HTTPD. See, it's inactive, it's not running. You can start it. Systemctl start HTTPD. Yeah, you need to have a restart on your system for this to work. Let me do reboot here and try connecting to it after a couple of minutes. It should restart and we should see the service running. And by the way, it will run on port 80, default port. Okay, you are back. Let me switch to root and let me check systemctl status HTTPD. It's still inactive. Maybe we have to start from there. Start the server itself from the console. Now let me check. Yeah, okay. See, after reboot, it worked. It was active and running. But it will be running on which port? Like general knowledge, it's on 80. But if you want to see where it is running, you can do netstat. That is some Linux command -lntup, which will show you all the ports. See, it will show you all the services. But I want this service. Whenever you start a service, it will be assigned with some process ID. Do you see 3426? I don't want to see all of them. Only this one. That's where pipe comes in. Earlier we learned, right, this one. This is how. Means out of this output, I just want to see 3426. See, only that output is shown. Because I can't search the entire list, right? See, it says that it's running on port 80. Default port. Now you want to check that on the port. Get the public IP of the instance. Hit that on port 80. It will not work unless you add this port in the security rules. What is meant by that? When you select an instance, go to the security tab. Here you should add that port in the security rules. This is another AWS concept. Like you should allow the inbound traffic on the see. Inbound rules, edit, add this port. It's like opening this port. Choose custom TCP. Oh, sorry, it is HTTP port, right? You can choose HTTP port 80 from anywhere. I want to connect from anywhere. Now you try this out. Yes. It means that HTTP is installed. Even you all can access this. I'm giving this in the chat window. You people can also hit that and see this page. Can you all see that?
Yes, ma'am. Able to access.
Yes.
So that's a simple way of starting installing and starting HTTP. That's a default port. But how do you see or where do you see those ports? If you go to HC, HTTPD, conf, that's a default files. When you install it, these files are created. I don't think this is the file. Here only. See, listen 80 means that's the default port configured. If you want, you can open this. Edit this file. Like you just scroll down and you have all this configured by default as port 80. If you want, you can change this port. Okay. Now it will be running on port 80. You have to restart. Actually, you should stop and change it and then start it. Not like this, okay? But I'm doing it anyway. What you have to do, first stop the service, then change the port and then start it. That's the best practice. Now it should be on port 90. It will take some time for restart. That's what, like I said, you should first stop it, then change the port. Once it is started, we should be seeing it running on port 90.
Ma'am, one doubt. Nginx is it's kind of HTTP or it is
HTTPD, Nginx, these are all different web servers. Okay, Nginx is more advanced than HTTPD, but yeah, they're all web servers. Same thing it will do. It will also, you can also do many things from with Nginx like load balancing and all. HA proxy. See, it's running. This time process ID changed. Go for the netstat command. But this time pipe grep 3528. See, it's on port 90 now. Do you see that? We changed the port. Now this will not work. Now I should also add new port. What is that port? Port 90. And from anywhere means I want you people also access it. So hit this on port 90. Got it? How to change the port? So this is how you install. We'll see installing Tomcat and also we'll see deploying some sample HTML files here. We shall take up from here tomorrow. I'll show you the installation of one more package. So you can ignore this installation part for today. Only practice before installations. Okay, installations you can practice tomorrow. Any questions from anyone? All the commands, everything is there in the Google Drive. Practice it. Okay, and still any questions, you can post it in the WhatsApp group, and also we'll discuss tomorrow. Anything else from anyone? We'll close here and we'll continue from here to the.
Thanks.
Thanks, Preeti. Thank you.
All right then, have a good day. See you all.
Yes,
Thank you.
Bye.